I know it's been a really long time since I've been on YouTube. I have always kind of prioritized every other social media app over YouTube. But even though I do that, YouTube is one of the platforms that I feel the most creative on. I feel like I have the most freedom on. So I don't know why I put it on the back burner all the time. I want to get better. I know I always say this and you're like, Ashley, we just don't believe you. I get it, but I don't want you to think that I'm abandoning you, because I am very, very active on TikTok, my podcast, Instagram, literally every other app or platform than YouTube. But if you follow me on any of those platforms, you know that I have had my fair share with friendship breakups, bad relationships, shitty friends, shitty jobs, shitty situations. I talk about navigating my 20s all the time, and I figured with all of my experience, we could start a new series on YouTube, or on my YouTube, where I talk about all of that while doing my makeup. It's going to be like an extension of my podcast. Much more chit chat, just sitting down, two besties, hanging out, doing our makeup, and talking about life. So for the first video of this series, I wanted to sit down and talk about friendships, specifically shitty friendships and friendship breakups. I have experienced a lot of different friendships. Growing up, I really only had one or two really, really close best friends. But as you get into high school, college, trying new things, experiencing new things, you go through different friend groups, you find new people, you grow apart from people. And I feel like through my adolescence and even in my 20s, I never felt like I had a solid group of friends. I felt like I was always trying to force friendships. Like whenever I would befriend someone, I would try really, really hard to maintain a friendship, but I could feel them pulling away or not giving enough effort or the same amount of energy that I was giving to them. I feel like especially in college, I realized that I was forcing friendships just to have friends, not because those friends were good friends to me. You know, I've had my fair share of relationships. I've had my fair share of guys breaking my heart and me sitting home crying because they were out doing something that I didn't want them to do, or they were doing something really, really shitty to me. And I kind of expected that. I kind of expected the worst from these guys because the bar is really low for guys, especially in high school. And pretty much every guy in high school is shitty to their girlfriend or shitty to girls. So all my friends and all the girls that I knew in high school were going through the same experience as me, or similar experience with guys. But then I saw all of these other girls have these really great friendships. They were going out every weekend, they were having parties together, they were going shopping, they were going to the gym together, they were getting lunch together, they were always taking pictures together, they were always together, and they always looked so happy. And I was sitting home crying because my friends were going out without me. My friends weren't texting me back. My friends were treating me the same way that guys treated me. And I knew this wasn't normal in the way that I thought it was normal for how guys treat you, because I saw other girls weren't being treated this way. They actually had good friends. And one would be like, okay, well, if people are treating you bad, then just stop being friends with them. But I didn't have anyone else to fall back onto. It was either stay with my shitty friends and continue being treated shitty, or have no friends. And when you're in high school or you're in college, it's really scary to have no friends. It's really scary to have no plans. It's really scary to have no one to talk to. Not only is it isolating and lonely, but you feel like a loser because you're supposed to be doing all these fun, amazing things, and when you aren't, you feel like you're wasting your time. You get the worst FOMO. You feel like the only teenager or 20-something who isn't having a good time. I've talked about this before in my podcast, but there's this one time that sticks out to me in particular, where I think it was like a Friday or Saturday night. Me and my friends had a group chat, and we talked in it all the time. We made plans in it. And on this night, I noticed that no one was really talking in the group chat. I think I texted something along the lines of like, anyone want to hang out? But no one responded to me. I think one person responded to me. So I checked their location because we all had each other's location, and I noticed that a few of them are hanging out together. And the thing that gets me to this day is it wasn't like they were like hanging out 2 hours away, like, you know, it just wouldn't make sense to hang out with me. They were a street over from me. I wasn't planning on making a huge deal out of it. Like when I saw it, I was just like, okay, that's weird. Let me text them out of the group chat and see if like they want to hang out with me. Naturally, no response. But I see that their location is moving. Their location is moving directly past my house. Like they literally drove past my road to go pick up another friend who lived very close to me. So I'm watching all of this go down. I'm watching them go from this house to this house, past my street again to go the other way. I want to say 20-25 minutes later, I finally receive a text from one of them saying, oh, sorry, I didn't check my phone, I didn't see my phone. And it's convenient that they see my text once they're far enough away and they can't pick me up anymore. And I understand that sometimes you just want to hang out with one friend or something, or that's just how things unfold. But I have never hung out with someone knowing that one of my friends also wants to be there and thought, I would have a much better time without them there, so I'm not going to invite them. If I have the opportunity to invite one of my friends to come hang out with me and another one of my friends, I'm going to do it. Once my boyfriend and I started renting houses and having like a bigger space to have people over, I noticed how easy it is to invite people that you want there. When I would throw parties, I didn't go out of my way thinking, who are we not going to invite? Like, who do we not want there that's one of our friends that like we just don't want here? Because as my friend, I want you to be with me. I want to hang out with you. The point that I'm trying to get at is if your friends are intentionally leaving you out, not inviting you to things, not texting you back, and they're doing this multiple times after you've said something like, hey, it hurts my feelings when you don't invite me to things, just know they don't care. They are not your friends. Real friends do not go out of their way to make you feel small. Because when you feel small and when you're hurting, it hurts them. If one of my friends came to me and said, hey, how you're treating me is really hurting my feelings, I'm feeling some type of way, I would feel so bad. I would feel remorseful because I don't want to treat someone that I care about like that. So if you notice that your friends are still treating you a certain way or are doing a certain thing to you after you've already vocalized like, hey, could you not do this to me? Just know that's never going to stop. They don't respect you enough to stop doing what they're doing. One of you asked, why can't my friends see me as a priority, like an important part of their lives? Like I was just saying, your friends don't care. If someone cares about you, they're going to check up on you. I'm not saying that your friend needs to be on your ass all the time. They don't have to text you, good morning, and how are you, sunshine? They don't have to be like that. But if you vocalize to your friend, hey, I'm going through something hard right now, I need support, or you vocalize, I'm really upset right now, and they disappear, if they don't respond to you, if they aren't giving you the support you need, they aren't your friend. I understand that everyone's going through their own shit and has their own struggles. I'm not saying that your friend should be putting your needs before their own, but just because you're taking care of yourself doesn't mean that you can't take care of others. Just because you're your main priority doesn't mean that you don't have other priorities. At the end of the day, it's like, what are friendships for if you're not giving me support? Like, if you're only there for me during my good times and you're not there for me during my bad ones, are we actually friends, or am I just a body for you to have a good time with? One thing that's really helped me with not being so upset over my friends not being there for me is understanding that there are different types of friendships. Your party friend is not going to check on you because they're only your friend when you're partying, when they need someone to party with. Your boyfriend's friends aren't going to check up on you because realistically, if you were to break up, would you guys still be friends? Your friends that you met through one of your good friends aren't going to check up on you because realistically, you're only friends because of that friend. But your friends that you've solidified a really strong connection with, you've built that foundation, you've had heart-to-hearts, you're there for each other during hard times, you go and party, you go and get lunch, you go to the gym, you go for walks, you run errands together, you text, you FaceTime. That friend is going to be there for you. And if they're not there for you, it's valid for you to raise question of, why aren't you there for me? You're not crazy for expecting your friend to be there for you. And I've said this a million times. I've made TikToks about it. I've talked about it on my podcast. Your friends are the first ones to call out shitty behavior from a guy. When a guy's not texting you, when a guy is flaking on you, when a guy is sneaking behind your back, your friends will say he's shitty and he doesn't like you. So if your friends are treating you the same exact way, they're shitty and they don't like you. I had to learn this the hard way, but being alone really is better than feeling lonely with a bunch of friends. Being alone at first is really uncomfortable because it feels odd. You kind of feel like a loner being a teenager, being in your 20s, and spending weekends alone while other people that you know are going out and having a great time with their friends, especially around holidays when you see people going to Halloween parties and doing all these holiday activities, New Year's Eve when everyone's going to these crazy parties and you're home by yourself. You get really bad FOMO and you just feel out of place. You feel like you're wasting your time. You feel isolated and like no one likes you or wants to be around you. But what I've learned is you're not going to find the people who actually get you and treat you good by hanging around people who don't understand you and don't even like you or respect you. If you want friends who like the same things as you, who treat you the way that you want to be treated, you're not going to find those people by spending your time around people who make you feel bad, because you don't have any time to find people that will make you feel good. You're spending all of your time around people who aren't good for you. That would be like you saying that you want to find a guy who treats you good and buys you flowers and takes you on dates and does this and that, but you're not going out on dates to meet new people because you're spending all of your time hanging out with your shitty ex. Your life revolves around what you focus your attention on. If you are spending your time with shitty friends, whether that's hanging out with them, waiting for them to text you, talking about them, spending your whole life revolving around them, that's what you're going to keep attracting. That's all you're going to get because that's all you care about. But if you spend your time alone, figuring out what you like, what you want, and you get comfortable spending so much time alone that you realize, if I'm okay spending time alone and I enjoy being alone, then the people that I'm going to spend time around either have to match my energy or add something to it. I saw someone on a podcast say this, but they were talking about relationships, but I think this goes for relationships or anyone. When you like who you are, the people around you are not competing with other guys, other friends, other people. They're competing with you. If you want access to me, you need to treat me better than I treat myself, because if you don't treat me better, I'm okay with not hanging out with you. I'm okay with us not being in a relationship or in a friendship. I'm okay being alone. I don't know how, but my camera's already about to die, so we're gonna wrap this up, even though I have so much more I want to talk about. If the camera dies, we'll go on to a part 2 a different day. But I enjoy spending time alone so much, because when you spend time alone or you plan like solo dates for yourself, it revolves all around you. If I want to go thrifting, I'm going thrifting. If I want to get coffee, I'm getting coffee. If I want to get 5 coffees, I'm getting 5 coffees. I don't need to plan my schedule around anyone else. I don't have to rush what I'm doing. I don't have to listen to music I don't like. I don't have to talk about things I don't want to talk about. I don't have to entertain anyone if I'm low energy. I used to go out all the time. I would go to bars and stuff when I actually didn't want to. I just wanted plans, and I would get to the bar and I'd be standing there and I'd be like, this fucking sucks. Like, I want to go home. I don't want to be here. But I came with my friend and now I have to wait until my friend wants to go home. And I feel like I'm wasting my time doing that. Whereas, you know, I might not be able to post on Instagram or make TikToks with my friends and show everyone, oh my God, look at me and my friends. Our lives are so great. Our lives are so cool. But at least I'm having fun and enjoying my time, even if it's alone. I would rather spend my time alone and actually have a good time than post online as if I'm having a good time when I'm actually fucking miserable. Because the people who are viewing my story, viewing my profile, are only going to think about me for a split second and maybe be like, oh, her life's so cool. But I'm the one who's going to actually remember what I was doing. I'm going to look back in a year from now and be like, I spent so much of my time partying and doing these things that I didn't want to do, and for what? To show people something? I can either think that way, or I can think back in 6 months and be like, wow, I did so much self-improvement. I did all these things that I wanted to do. I got over my fears. I stepped out of my comfort zone. I checked off all these things on my bucket list. And I did that all for me. I might not have photos to prove for it. It might not be what everyone else is doing, but I wanted to do it, and fuck it, I did it, and I had a good time doing it. I'm going to finish my mascara and do my lips, but while I finish my makeup up, I want to talk about friendship breakups really quick before my camera dies. Friendship breakups are arguably much harder to get over than a romantic breakup, and I think the reason why this is, you kind of expect guys to be shitty. You kind of expect the worst, especially if you've been in a relationship with a guy for so long and all you know is his shitty behavior. By the end of it, you're like, okay, this sucks and it hurts, but I know that we're breaking up for a good reason. I know that I'm going to find someone who doesn't treat me like that. I know that I deserve better. But with friendship breakups, you might have had a really good friendship and then out of left field, you grow apart or they do something that hurts you really bad and you can't move forward. With romantic breakups, your friends are usually the ones who are picking you back up and reminding you that you deserve better. They're the ones that are like, let's go out, let's go shopping, let's do this, taking your mind off the breakup. But with friendship breakups, especially when you have a falling out with multiple friends, you don't really know who to fall back onto. You don't really have anyone. I think for me, something that really hurt me and shocked me, and I think is one of the reasons friendship breakups are so hard, is you see your friend being disrespected so many times by guys and you see them go back to them again and again. And you know that you would never treat them like that. You've never treated them like that. But you mess up once or something very minor happens and they can't communicate with you. They can't sort it out with you. They just leave you. It makes you question, like, was our friendship real at all? Like, you could be my friend when we're having a good time, but when, you know, things get rocky and we need to sort things out, that's when you call it quits. You don't even want to try. You don't even want to figure it out. You would rather just end the friendship altogether than work things out. Friendships, especially girl friendships, are so intimate. You dive so deep, you know so much about each other. You're so vulnerable with each other. You share so many things that no one knows about you. You go through so many hardships. You see so many pivotal moments in each other's lives and you're a part of those moments. So for someone to just be able to throw that away over a miscommunication or an argument blows my mind, especially when you see them forgiving guys over and over again. But sometimes friendship breakups are what you need to move on and do better. Sometimes you grow apart from your friends and it's because you're growing in different directions or one of you is refusing to grow. Sometimes your values don't match up anymore. Sometimes things just don't work out and you can't hold on to a connection just because you want to keep the connection. If it's not doing anything for you, the best thing for you to do is let it go if it's time for it to go and either work on yourself or find something with someone else that works for you and is good for you. I think losing those friends is what I needed. It was a kick in the ass to figure out what I wanted and what I needed so I wasn't stuck in this constant cycle of allowing people to treat me the way they were. If you stayed to the end of this video, thank you so much for hanging out and doing my makeup with me. I hope from this video you walk away knowing that friendships aren't supposed to be hard. I mean, we already deal with so many difficult things in our lives. Life is just chaotic as is. Friendships are supposed to be that relationship in your life that brings you joy. These people are supposed to support you and be good for you. They're supposed to add value into your life. They aren't supposed to make your life harder. If your friends are making you feel like you're hard to love, that you're too emotional, you're too dramatic, you're too much, those aren't the people for you. And you will find people that do understand you and do accept you as you are, and you won't have to minimize yourself or change yourself to be liked by your friend. Your friends are supposed to have similar interests as you. Your friends are supposed to want to hang out with you. Your friends are supposed to be there for you, because if they aren't all of those things, what are they meant for? Just a good time? If that were the case, you can just go to a club by yourself and meet new people and have a good time. Your friends are supposed to feel like your friends. When they start feeling more like an enemy, like you have to be defensive, that you have to be on guard, that your fight or flight is kicked in, something's up, something's wrong, and more than likely, they don't have your best interest in mind. Something that I say all the time is things can't change unless you change, unless the things in your life change. If you want better people in your life, you gotta let go of the people who aren't doing it for you. If you want to have people who respect you, you gotta let go of the people who don't. If you want to have friends who actually want to spend time with you, you need to stop blowing up your friend's phone who never wants to hang out with you, who cancels on you all the time. You need to start making time for the things that you actually want in your life and stop wasting your time over things and people who have made it known to you, who have made it clear that they just don't care. Like a friend would tell you, because I am your friend, we are besties. If someone has shown you time and time again, they don't like you, they don't respect you, they don't care about you, listen to them. Actions speak louder than words, and they're telling you, I don't care. And you deserve someone who cares about you. I love you. I hope you enjoyed sitting down and doing our makeup together. I love you, besties, and I will talk to you next time. Let me know different topics and questions and things you want me to answer in the comments or message me on Instagram. Okay? I love you guys. Bye.